By the way, when a man pushes back on us,
at least I know you care. But it's like,
have a boundary, babe.
Have some boundaries. Like that's a good thing.
Welcome everybody to the Not For Nothing podcast, hosted by the dynamic duo Christopher Michael and Ashley Mayland, where they delve into life, love, relationships, and personal growth. Be sure to tune in every week for a refreshing take on life's most important lessons.
I don't like for people to suffer. I don't like for people to be in pain. I would never purposely put someone in pain myself, and I just don't want that. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be whole. I want everyone to have purpose. I want everyone to feel valuable and worthy because they are. They are, and it is so sad when broken people continue the cycle because even the people that are hurting you are broken somewhere inside and something happened to them that caused them to be that way. And it's like somebody has to take the pain that they've endured and break the wheel. They have to break the cycle. Right. Somebody has to stop perpetuating the pain that they've been caused on other people and say, you know what, no. I'm not going to be that person. You know?
Yeah, it's important, and you're helping a lot of people.
I won't do it.
You're helping a lot of people doing what you do. And it needs to be talked about. There's so much stigma around so much of this. Yeah. And it's so weird to me because everybody goes through it. Like, why is there still such a stigma around all of this? It's like, it should be easy. Like, to us, it comes easier. You know, like, we still go through it, but we're, like, stronger people. Yeah. The stigma needs to go away. I feel like that's just like a whole big part of this too. Yeah. Is like where it all leads into these little, like everything funnels into itself. Like all of everything we've talked about tonight. Like
there's a level of shame I think that people feel to it. But,
and it's harder for men too, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely harder for men because men don't typically open up the same way women do. And like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just men just aren't built that way typically. So
they're not. Men are easy. It's easier for you to like block it out.
It is to block it out. We internalize. Like I know I internalize a lot. It's something I work on. I try to work on, but I really need somebody in my life who I'm comfortable and secure with. Right. So that's why, like I was saying, like to you, like meeting somebody, right, like is important to me.
Yeah. Yes.
And that bond with them is super important to me because I don't open up to just anybody.
Right.
In fact, I'll really only open up to that person.
Right. And there's a level for men that you should be able to like carry a weight. You know, there's a certain level to which you should be able to carry and stay stoic. You know what I mean? Because that is your responsibility as a leader, as a man, to be able to stay calm, to be able to keep yourself together as the head of your family or the people that you are around so that you can continue to show up for them and do the things necessary that have to be done. But also, you have to have that person or at least one person where you can let all that out because men get angry with their grief. Women get sad, but men get angry, right? And then they take it out on everyone else. And then now everyone else is hurting, you know? Yeah.
Or on themselves.
Yeah. You know? Or take it out on themselves, and then and them being miserable makes everyone miserable. Everyone hurts until you heal.
Yes.
Everyone hurts until you heal.
Why are men like that? Why do you think that is? Like, what's the difference?
As far as why we keep our feelings in, don't open up.
Yeah. I want to know because I have sons.
To a degree,
I have little boys. I want to know.
To a degree, it's built into us. I just think that
don't show weakness.
Yeah, I just think that's men have always been that way. Like men from thousands of years. I mean, it's just always been. It's like in our DNA. I really think that. I really think that we're just built in a way where we want to take everything on so that the rest of you don't, especially the people that are important to us.
I've never heard a man, I've never asked anybody that question really, but I've never heard a man like explain it like that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by there's a certain level to where you should be able to like contain yourself and hold it together for the people that you have to show up for.
So women need to think about that though. That's a bold point. That was a bold statement. Women need to think about that. Like it's not personal. It's just built in us. That's how we feel. Like this is just how we are.
It is. It's not, listen, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's healthy if we can let it out to a degree.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, like for me personally, I take it on because I don't want you to take it on. Yeah. Right. So when someone says to me, or if I'm dating something, you don't open up. Most of the time, it's not that I don't want to open up. It's that I feel the stress, right? I feel the pain.
Yeah.
I don't need you to feel it too.
Yeah.
I don't. And I don't want you to because at the end of the day, what does that do for me? Right. It's just going to stress me out more. Because now you're upset.
That is one of the only things I agree with Andrew Tate on.
Yeah.
Is that he does say that. He's like, the man's job is to take on all the shit that the world is going to give them and to carry it. Right. And his wife's job is to be happy so that the man can come home to a happy wife so that she can help bring him back down to earth. Right. You know, and that is a good, valid point. Like, the more he takes on, the less she has to.
There's other things like men need. Like, for me, like I'd always say, like, I don't need much. I need you to be able to support decisions that I make.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need you to be able to talk to me and lift me up a little bit if I'm having a bad day.
Encourage you.
Right.
But I need you to be able to do that without me pouring myself out onto you. Like I don't need to
you don't wanna
unload
cry
that
and,
weight
like-
onto you.
Right.
So with that being understood between us, if you can give that to me, I'll give you the world. And that's why I say most men won't ask for much.
That's a
You
good to
just
know,
have
though.
to give us outlets.
Because I didn't know that.
That's
Like,
it.
if a guy had ever said to me, like, hey,
That's
like,
huge.
I'm never going to just unload, like, how I feel on you, but if you could just be a consistent source of encouragement and, like, support for me, that would go a long way. Oh, sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Doesn't
That I can do.
Doesn't that marry so well with the
Yes.
fact that you're like everything that we've talked about with versus like a
Yes.
playboy and the game player
Yes.
like and
Versus a
somebody who's-
man.
yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Like a playboy, here's the difference
consistent.
between a playboy and a man, though, when it comes to this topic. As a playboy, or just a boy, rather, they withhold from you on purpose.
They do.
They withhold from you on purpose. It's a game.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you anything.
That's an ego thing. We're
I will
back to
never
ego,
let you
yeah.
know how much
Right.
I care. I will. This wall is there, and you will never get a glimpse of me at all. I will never be vulnerable with you. I will never, like, I don't need you. Versus a man that's like, look, there are some things I do need as a man. And I know I don't want to put everything on you because I love you too much, and I don't want you to have to carry the weight. I'm going to carry it for you.
Right.
But it would be nice if you could support me and encourage me along the way. Like, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
That's
I
different.
think
That's
that's where
great
the-
It's
way to
maturity.
say it.
It is. And I think that there's a disconnect sometimes between women and men in that regard. It's just, and like I said, it's almost got to be unspoken,
Yeah.
unfortunately, because men aren't going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
that in mind.
Well, ladies, listen up.
Yeah,
Yeah, ladies,
just
this is
know
what they
that-
need.
Yeah, because
That's
we do.
huge.
We go through our struggles and we deal with our lows and we deal with our highs, but we take on a lot of the lows. So assume that,
Yeah.
because chances are that's the truth, especially if you're with a man that loves you,
Yeah.
and just be there for them.
Yeah.
without
And-
them having to destroy you by telling you every
But here's
single
I
thing
want
that's
to I want to
bothering
stand
them.
up for the women though too. Men, what women need is for you to be able to at least communicate, hey, I'm not doing great right now. Like, I don't want to talk.
Right. I agree with that.
I'm just not in a good place right now. But it's not you,
Right.
It's
feel
not
like
you.
I have worked with a
and I
lot
love
of-
you,
I
and
feel
we're
like-
good.
Yes, I agree.
I like the last part. I love that. I feel like I've worked with so many couples that like the man will say that to the woman and then she still keeps going like but
Yeah, they'll
tell
keep
me,
pushing.
tell me, tell me,
Yeah.
tell me. I want to because
I know.
we're very like
Yeah,
we
'cause
want
she
to
needs to
solve
know.
it. Yeah, we want to solve it right now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
problems-
but here's why: because the woman's thinking something's wrong with us.
uh-huh.
So that's
I
why
liked the
it's
last
so
part.
important to say we are so good. I love you. Like, we couldn't be better, but I'm just right now.
Today's
I need my
not the
space,
day.
or I just need some encouragement from you. I don't want to talk about it, but I love you and we're good.
Yeah, it's like just sit
we're
down on the
good.
couch, like, let's watch
and
a
that's
movie.
what
Like,
that's
just
because
something
the woman
simple.
needs the reassurance that nothing's wrong with
That's all.
us.
The woman
Nothing's wrong with
always-
our connection.
If you want to make a woman happy, reassure her.
Reassure her.
Reassure us, even when you
You
don't
reassure
think-
a woman every
even
day of her
when-
life, and
Just
she will
reassure
never
me.
leave your
just
side.
reassure me. I don't care what it's
Literally.
about. Like, and just keep doing it. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to have to tell you or
Yeah.
ask. Like, just keep reassuring
Yes.
me, and we're golden.
Absolutely.
And I said this on our last podcast too. Like, even when you're like in a fight with someone, reassurance goes so far. For a woman, like, all you have to say is, "We're
This
good.
is
Yeah,
magic.
like,
We're
absolutely.
good." Like, yeah, no,
Give me a minute.
We're good though. Like,
We're
I'm pissed
good.
at you. I hate that this happened. I don't like the way you said that or whatever. But we're good. We're good. I'm not going anywhere. I need a minute. I just need a minute.
That's exactly how it's
Reassurance.
done in my
And then the
home.
wife is immediately like, you okay, you know what? I can respect that. I can respect that because
Well,
I know
some-
we're good. I can let it go.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You need time sometimes. Everybody needs time sometimes.
But a woman's greatest fear is being abandoned, right?
Right.
Because
We've been through it so many times.
exactly. I
So
mean,
many
and it's
times.
biologically it makes sense. Like, you
Well,
know,
men should reassure.
because
them.
a
They-
man is there to protect you.
Well,
you
they
know?
should reassure the women in their lives. I mean, it's the easiest thing to do it for once. I mean, for one. I mean, it really is. It's very easy to tell someone that
painless.
you love
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it's not you. Like, we're good. I'm having a rough day.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's so difficult for some men is just crazy.
And that's
to me.
the easiest thing to do.
It
I mean,
is.
that's a one sentence.
Like, tell them that you love
One
them.
short, hey, we're good.
Right. Like,
We're good. I just need a minute.
I think a lot of long-term marriages fail because these little tiny steps get missed. These little tiny things that if they would have just done these little tiny things, things might have worked out differently.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like so many of the friends and family members that I've seen that have had failed marriages and relationships, it's these little tiny things.
Yeah, it's the
and it
little
was
things
it was-
building
It
up.
just accumulated
Yeah.
like over time.
It is the little
And then it
things.
exploded. Because like that's the biggest thing ever. Like the two things that were just said right here, that would like alleviate so much.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my God.
People will be healthier places. I mean, even something simple. Like, I'll tell you one thing. Like I'll always do, and if men are listening, they should. I never go to bed. I can't say I don't go to bed angry, but I will always go to bed telling whoever I'm with that I love them, no matter what.
Yeah, that's good. Even if you can't say we're good, pissed, hey, I love you.
Like I'll always
I need a night, but I love you. Good night.
I'm leaving to get into a car and onto a plane.
That's good.
Anything where I know life could be cut short.
Yep.
No matter what it is, we could be not talking for a day.
Yeah.
And I always make sure to tell somebody that I love them.
I just saw a quote.
And it's important.
I just saw on Instagram, I don't remember who it was. It's like a bigger influencer. It's a guy. And he said, every time I go and meet up with friends, I tell my wife where we're going, who we're going with, about what time I think I'll be home. I text her at least once throughout the night. I'm not like constantly communicating, but I keep her in the loop for the most part, generally speaking. And I let her know when I'm headed home so that she's not worrying about me. And it's not because and it's not because I have to. It's not because she's asked me to. It's because I respect her and I love her. And I don't want her sitting there worrying about me when it's so easy for me to just say, hey, I was thinking we'd be home at 9, but I think we're going to stay here for another drink. I'll be back around 10:30. I'll text you on my way. Or, hey, it's going good. Hope everything's going great at home. Like, it's just easy to do. And a woman, it's reassurance is what it is without having to ask for it. It's reassurance, another form of reassurance.
1000%.
You know what I mean? And I think that's so amazing. And again, it's simple. Like women really do. The simple things mean so much. Mm-hmm. It's the little tiny simple things that remind us that we matter and that you love us and that you're not going anywhere.
Right.
That add up, you know?
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, listen, it would make people's like your lives would be so much easier in relationships too, right? If we just did those things.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Like all the fighting, all the shit that you hate and that you'll leave someone for, the bickering or the things that you don't want to deal with, could be solved with like the smallest things. Just do them like every day. It's such a small task.
Yeah. Is it an ego thing, do you think? Is that
the
back to ego?
Wait, with the reassurance? Like,
what is it?
Yeah, why can't they do it? Why won't they?
I'm going to be honest. I'll tell you what I think. All right, it's generational for one, I think. So I think younger generations, women today, they've changed a lot. They have. And I'm not knocking women of the younger generation, but they've changed. So like what they value in men has become different, right? There's a lot of women out there that are in it now for money. They're dating a lot of older men. I mean, it's become pretty crazy at this point. It's
everywhere.
So I think the other part of it is this, that I think women of a younger generation, if it's done too much, they get tired of it and it gets played out and then they wind up leaving whoever they're with for a different guy who's maybe not so, I guess they'd say, mushy or soft.
Right.
But like men in my generation and the women in the same generation, I think they appreciate that more. So I think it really is a generation.
Yeah, but
it depends on.
That makes total sense.
No, it makes sense. But again, it's an age gap thing because it's like when you're 22, you don't really care about reassurance as much. Like you might want it, but you're also out partying with your friends while their boyfriend's out partying with his friends. So it's like, it's still a game. Like it's a game when you're 22, no matter what you want to say, it's still a game. But when you're 28, 29, 30, 31, and you're actually looking at a future with somebody, that changes.
It does.
Right?
I think you need to grow into it.
It's really all about, I think, age and like what you're actually wanting from someone.
Right.
Like there's no such thing as you're too reassuring for me if I see a future with you.
Well,
you're
no,
engaged, right?
there's
Remember
not,
that.
but that's the problem. See,
like if I want to marry you, there's no such thing as too much reassurance.
No, 15 years down the road, still
there's no such thing as that.
If
I'm not looking at you like a possible partner, though, and I'm just not really like fully in it, then yeah, I probably would get a little annoying because it's like this isn't necessary.
Right, but tell me you haven't met a woman or even a woman that just talks about a guy where she's like, oh, he's a little too soft. He tells me this all the time, or he's too complimentary.
I've never heard that either.
Really? There's a lot of women that do that.
There are.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Too soft is different. What do you mean when you say too soft?
It'd be like
because a lack of masculinity, I'm not into that.
Like he's always telling me he loves me and I'm so beautiful.
Women say that?
No, here's what happens.
Does it all the time.
No.
He's always texting me.
This is what happens. Okay, I can tell you exactly why that happens.
There's a movie like that. There's a movie.
I'll tell you. I'll
the
get this
girls
clip for
that
you.
leave a guy like that, it's because the guy comes into it with that immediately, before it's even required, asked for, or deserved. So if I go
That's
and
fair.
like,
that is
because
fair.
there's the thing: a woman needs to be courted. She needs to feel like you're pursuing her, but you don't need her. It's the same for both parties,
For sure.
You know, and I don't care what anyone says. We both need to know that like we're being pursued, but we're not needed, right?
Right.
But if a guy, I've had this happen before, like a long time ago. I met a guy. I was kind of like, I don't know. He was immediately like
He love bombed you?
within like a day coming to my work, sending flowers, like but I don't deserve that. Right. We don't even know each other.
Like, I feel like that's going to be a Zoom, isn't it? Like, just get the wrinkles. What?
But it's
Don't
like
worry, we fill them all out.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like it's weird. It's weird when a guy comes in and he's like,
"That's weird."
We've been dating for
That's never
3
happened to
days,
me.
and I just want you to know I'm going out with the guys tonight. I'll call you when I get there, and I'll call you when I leave. But we've only been dating for 3 days, and the girls is going.
You know what else I think?
I don't need that information. We don't even know each other that well yet. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I just thought of something. I got a 16-page letter back one time from a dude I went on one day with to a St. Louis Cardinals
that's the
game.
point.
Pages, yeah.
That's the point.
Pages. I forgot about
You
that.
haven't even earned
guys.
it.
Yeah, that's a small demographic.
It's a
That
turnoff.
happened.
Anytime somebody gives you something you haven't earned,
I wonder if I
it's
still
a turnoff.
have that letter.
Yeah, I get that.
I would love to read that letter.
There's
again
a.
now.
I wish I could remember the clip.
16 pages. Wow.
I sent you the clip. Remember? So there was this woman. Her husband kept constantly texting her, and this is her husband, mind you. Okay,
They're married.
Remember I sent you the video clip?
yeah,
So they're
yeah.
married. So she's on TikTok leaving a post, and she's basically mocking him the whole time. She goes, "Oh, I'm walking the dog now, babe. Oh, I'm going to go have dinner now, babe. I'm going to go do whatever." Everything he was doing, he was texting her because he loved her. Like he was and that was it. That was the kind of the point.
Just basically keeping her updated all day
Keeping her
long.
updated all day long. And she was like, "Oh, well, I'm out with my friends, babe. Can you stop texting me, please, babe?" And then she did this on TikTok, and this is her husband.
No.
And I wanted to be like,
But she
what
was
the
doing it in
hell
a
is-
very demeaning way.
She was. She was demeaning him.
In a
like,
very demeaning way.
unbearably.
It was like, I haven't seen it. Was it like for views and likes and funny, or was it like legit?
No,
Like she
was
was.
she was
trying- like,
legit.
She was in attack
legit
mode.
In attack
Like,
mode.
like
being an
making fun
asshole.
of him.
Like, this is the man that
Like
you
making fun
married.
of him.
Like,
It was
what's up
not
with you?
cool.
That's
it was not
insane.
cool.
See, then there's that too. There's that dynamic too that does exist, and I have seen that. I've
Well,
seen like
but-
the really
Well, that's
mean.
what I'm saying.
women
That is
so
like-
there are like there's so many different types of women and men out there.
That's crazy.
But that is like the example of like a guy who doesn't have a backbone at all, though.
right. I
And
get
that's
it.
why that's annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's
There
like
needs to be, like, a
she
mutual
shouldn't have to be the masculine figure in the relationship, right?
He shouldn't. She shouldn't.
She shouldn't.
Well, when you say masculine, but she shouldn't be on
a
online
like
mocking
a
and demeaning
masculine
her
man
husband.
has respect for you enough to like keep you updated.
Right.
But his entire life doesn't centered entirely around you. Where he
Right.
literally is, I'm eating now.
But here's the thing that I have, and this is where I have a problem with it, is that the chances are that's not the case, right? Because at the end of the day, not only did this woman date him and get engaged to him, she married
Well, yeah,
him.
exactly.
So there's no possible way that he is those things. Otherwise, she would have hated him.
So maybe she was just doing it for like
Yeah.
views. Who knows?
No, or she was just an asshole.
Yeah, maybe she's just one like.
She's just
What do they
an
always say
asshole.
that men always marry the bitch?
I mean,
I mean, they always marry the bitch. They don't marry the nice girl. They marry the bitch because it's more of a challenge.
right. And the other
Probably,
thing is
like,
this, like,
give them a run for their money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
and keep in mind, I have no problem with you telling your significant other that they're invading space,
Sure.
right? But privately.
Privately.
Like, it's my personal time. Like, I'm with my friends. Like, I
can't
just want to
imagine-
enjoy myself. Like, that's cool.
no
Like, but just tell me in private. You don't need to go on TikTok and be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Publicize the
No.
details
Like,
of our
That is
relationship.
so disrespectful.
what's
Yeah, it's like, come
No,
on. Like,
and-
like, I have to face your family, your friends, people that see this video, and if you
Like-
just shit on me.
Yeah, you just shit
it's
on me
one
in front of
thing.
everybody.
It's one thing if it's your ex. It's another if it's your current
Current
husband.
husband.
Yeah, like
what are you
wh-
doing?
what does that mean that you think of me? Like, how do you think of me if that's how you're gonna like?
Put me on the internet
Yeah,
like
dude.
that.
Yeah.
That's like what your enemies do. Like,
Yeah,
Right?
that
That's
is
a-
resentful.
That's
like
an
that
attack.
is.
I did
wild.
see that
Like,
video.
if my
Now that
girl
I
ever did
did
that to
see
me,
that
bro,
video.
I'm telling
Oh,
you.
I would be done.
She's
Oh, there'd
lucky
be no
I can't
way.
think
I'd
of the
be
video
done.
because I'm notorious for posting shit like that and reacting. But yeah, it's because
She's
it's
like, "Oh, shit."
it's a warning label. I mean, it is. It's a bright red warning label.
That's
it's
messed up. That mine would be like, no, that would be
That is a
explosive
cut.
battle.
like, oh,
That would be an explosive battle, but I would never.
kidding.
I couldn't even.
You
imagine
wouldn't do
doing
that.
No way.
Because you
No
don't
way.
disrespect
That's
your
crazy.
husband like that.
I wouldn't even be at the God. Listen, if I saw that video before she got home,
Oh.
wouldn't even
Your
be at the
shit's gone.
house.
I heard,
I'd be
yeah,
gone.
I'd be
Shit's
gone.
gone.
She would come home. I would be so far gone. She'd be blocked. I'd be gone.
Divorce
She'd have
papers
divorce
would be in
papers
her-
in the mail. Like that would be the
They're
end of
already
it.
there.
But then you know what? If that was the case, she would probably never disrespect you again. She'd have a whole new level of respect for you.
Yeah, because
at that
she'd be
point.
married to somebody else and she wouldn't be with me anymore, and that's fine. You can respect me from
But
afar.
what I'm saying is,
With
like,
your new
there's
husband.
nothing, there's nothing attractive about a man like that will. It is one thing to be respectful and kind and communicative and like considerate of your spouse. Like a man should be respectful and kind and considerate and sit with you and have conversations with you, but he should push back too sometimes. Like you can't a doormat. Like I don't want a doormat.
That's sexy. By the way, when a man pushes back on us,
Right.
At least I know you care. But it's like, but
have a boundary, babe.
have some boundaries.
Right.
Like that's
You do
a
have to
good
have
thing.
boundaries.
Like of course there's sometimes it's like it would be great if you could just be a little selfless today for me.
Right.
Like but for the most part, no women don't respect a man that doesn't have like his own back for
Yeah.
that
Right.
matter.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
get it.
that doesn't respect
there's
himself.
a fine line. Like, don't be like screaming and yelling and calling me names and be mean. But if you're like, hey,
Yeah,
that's not gonna
right.
fly.
Do
I'm
I
like,
want a man that thinks I'm the greatest thing that he's ever had? Yes.
Yeah.
But do I want a man that lets me talk crap about him on the internet and make him look like a sissy?
No.
For
And thinks
sure
that's
not.
okay? No.
What are his buddies saying?
But I wouldn't.
Like, what
I
are
wouldn't.
his
Man,
homies
if
saying?
those
you
are
know?
my friends,
yeah, like
forget
what are
about it.
You know they hate her.
They
I
would-
guarantee you they've all hated her always.
They would destroy me.
They've
They-
always hated her.
I'd be getting text messages saying, "I told you, bro."
See,
Yeah.
and
I
then
told
those,
you, dude.
See, that's when it becomes okay, right? Like that's when I can vibe out with those people that are like, they're dogging the boyfriend or the girlfriend or the
Right.
spouse or the whoever because there's a legitimate reason.
Right.
Right?
Especially when it's a
Absolutely.
good
I'm with you.
person
Agree.
that just doesn't know boundaries very well. It's like, don't
Yeah.
dog someone like that.
Yeah, that's dirty.
You probably couldn't even live without him if you're honest. They probably do
Seriously.
so
Oh,
much
the
for
minute
you.
that he left her, she would be
Oh, for
on
sure.
the
Oh
ground.
my God! Yeah,
Yeah.
she would.
Like I
It's
said,
all-
she married him.
Yeah. There's something.
It's not like he hid that part of him,
Right.
Because anybody that's doing something like that is like that 24/7.
Right.
That really is a crazy ass like
That's cruel.
video
It's
Like
insane.
what are you thinking? The
But-
internet's like that though. Like
Yeah.
that's the other thing in these relationships too that you gotta watch. Like I do know there was some fault in the sense of like there's times that I posted certain things like Brian like silly stuff that he's done that I've like teased or been sarcastic and you gotta
Yeah, of
regress
course.
a little bit, you
Of
know?
course.
Because the internet's powerful. Like it really is a big deal these days.
It is.
And family, friends, everybody's on it. They
Yeah, they
see
see
it.
it.
They see how you're acting. They see how you're talking about each other. And like it does kind
And
of
he'll get teased by his friends. Like you
It
don't,
does.
I would
You gotta
never
kind
want to
of-
say anything that would cause my spouse to get teased by his friends.
Or your
Right.
significant even.
of
I mean,
course
like
not.
just like when, especially when you're dating. I think
Yeah.
that's
Listen,
more important when you're getting
I don't
started.
even argue with my significant other in front of people.
Yeah,
Smart.
Ever.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You should never
No,
let
never.
you should
Everybody's so
never let
uncomfortable.
anyone see your shit
Yeah, ever.
ever.
Yeah, as far as they know, you guys have the perfect relationship.
How
That's it.
awkward is that?
And then you deal with
Oh,
it.
when you're out
God.
with people and they get into it and
Oh
you're like,
God, it's so awkward.
Well, you
and
know what it
everyone's
is.
like,
You start letting people into your circle that shouldn't be there.
yeah, exactly.
And then they start talking and texting and they start picking at you.
Yeah.
and then they cause toxicity within your relationship
Yeah.
because you're human. So
Yeah.
you listen and
Yeah.
then you're friends.
Yeah.
So
Well,
the best
yeah.
thing you could ever do, just don't argue in front of people. Talk about it amongst yourselves. Right.
Unless
keep
it's
it between
abuse, you know, like
Well, it's
if it's just
different.
regular
Listen, if-
couple things,
That's
like-
it should be
Yeah.
between the two of you.
Right.
for sure.
Like if you have a problem with something that I did or said, cool. Just
If we're
tell me
having
when we're
that,
alone.
if the energy in the room is changed, if we're getting there in public, it's time to go home. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
it's time
well,
to go
yeah.
home. 9 times out of 10,
Right.
9 times out of 10, it's the espresso martinis, and I just want Taco Bell. Like, really? What did we decide to call them? Did we pick a name?
Espresso.
Okay, we're gonna go with the right name.
I think espresso
We're
just
gonna,
sounds
we're gonna
better.
pronounce things correctly.
50
You know?
50 on that one. But yeah, the espresso martinis and then it's Taco Bell. Like it's something really stupid. But when if you've ever been in a room with a couple that's fighting,
Yeah, it's not
It's
fun.
awkward.
awful.
It's
It's
extremely
not fun.
awkward.
so awkward.
It's like you just watched like a hospital drama.
Yeah.
It ruins the night for everyone.
It ruins
Well,
the
it
night for
does.
everyone.
It does.
Like-
the hospital drama. What's gonna happen? How's it gonna end?
Like General Hospital.
But you know what? I always think that couples fighting in front of other people, that's like a sure sign that they're not good together.
No, things
no,
are something's
they're
wrong.
not.
Because
something's
if it's getting so bad that you can't even keep it private anymore,
Right.
like what does it look like the rest of the time?
Depends on the culture.
Yeah, I guess that's
Oh,
true.
that is
No,
true.
you're right. You're
That's
right.
true.
Dude, I'm
Some
Latin.
people are just passionate.
You're Latin, so you guys just like let it happen.
I'm Brazilian.
Like you let it rip.
We're very
Right.
passionate people.
You're right.
You know, and honestly, even me, I've messed up a few times, and then my girl's like, "Yo, what the hell? Like, what are you doing?" You know what I'm saying?
God,
Like,
it's so funny.
and,
So true.
you find like I forget, dude. I'm in America. I can't act like this.
That's hilarious.
I stand corrected.
That's hilarious.
I
Babe,
can totally
you're
see
right.
a
Cultures are
Brazilian couple running down the street, like yelling at each
my
other.
geographical location
Yeah,
does not
Spanish
support
women
those.
don't fuck around.
Yo, you're right.
Italian
you're right.
women
No.
don't either.
They'll-
Italian
they'll-
women
No,
do
Italian
not
women don't
either.
either, but Italian
They'll
women
throw
will
the
catch
microwave
you
at you.
alone.
I will
and then
catch.
you're done.
I will catch him. Then you're
Italian
done.
women will
He's
walk
right.
in the door before you and then throw something at your head as you're coming through the door.
1,000%.
That's it.
It's
They'll
exactly
wind
how it
up
works.
ready for you to come, and you're done.
It's over for you.
That's it.
when
They
we
got
get
the grave is dug in the backyard. Your headstone's there. You're done.
You're done. You're done.
Hardest
Just
brick
like
of
that,
lasagna
dude. There's
going
the
right
like
to your head.
Done.
frozen lasagna coming, and it's true. And I'll like say stuff like that. Like if we're like, I'll call him names or tease him. Like I'm a teaser. Like I'm a sarcastic.
Yes, me
Yeah,
too.
so am I.
Me too.
So I'm like, hey, you
It's
little
fun.
fucker, like knock your shit. You know, I'll say stuff like that to him, and like I do feel like we do get looks even from that. Like, are they serious? And I'm like, no,
banter.
it's fine. Like
like
we're
we're
fine.
joking.
We're joking.
We've been married for 15 years. We're
Yeah,
fine.
so how else do you talk to each other after this long? Like,
Apparently, you two don't have a sense of humor.
yeah, right. We're very sarcastic people, and people, both of us, and like people will literally be like, "Is that really happening?" Or like, "Are they joking?" Or like, because I'm loud.
Right.
I mean, it's been like an hour, and you guys probably already know that. Like, I'm loud. I'm a loud girl. So like, when something's not
Especially
going
in this
right,
mic.
you're like, "Hello."
No,
Is it? That's him. That's his fault.
no,
Yeah, the
I'm
levels.
kidding. I'm kidding. I have
But
like
I
the
am.
bassiest voice ever. You guys must.
You have a
Your
great
eardrums must be
voice.
freaking bleeding.
No, I have like I don't. I hate my voice.
I'm
but
not
You're
in
good.
love with mine either. It's
I know, it's
very
weird.
You sound really good over the
high-pitched.
mic. You, I have to hear after we edit everything.
Oh, I'm excited to know
not,
what you
wow.
think.
not edit you.
Also-
You're just
not
used to
edit
my
you.
voice.
Yeah, I probably
That's
am
all
used
it
to your
is.
voice. But you
She's a
sound
beautiful-
from what I hear, you're going to sound
No,
good on
you
the.
sound-
You know, I don't think he knows that.
What?
That I'm a singer.
She is a singer.
I feel like you said you
Oh,
told me you're a
okay,
singer
yeah.
songwriter.
She's a
Well, you
I
used to.
know
used to be.
this.
singing
I was actually about to
voice.
ask you to write a song for the podcast.
Ugh, that's
Like
a lot of work.
like a jingle.
Like a jingle.
Could
That's
you
a
do, like
lot
her
of work.
playing the piano.
I have to get a
Like,
band
a jingle.
together. You know how
What?
hard it is to get a freaking band together?
If you're going to
It
do
is
it,
not
do
easy,
it right.
Ashley, we don't.
It's not fun. It's hard because everyone thinks they're a musician. So when you're actually a musician, everyone thinks you're a musician, and you're like, "Oh yeah, come, like let me hear you play." And then you're like, "Oh God,
I feel
how do I
you.
tell this person
I feel that.
that was terrible?"
Nashville was like our second home, and when you go there so often and you talk to people, like it's.
Everyone thinks they're a musician.
Have you been there?
Yeah, once.
I want to take you back there.
It's
You
only
put her
it's
on
been a
stage for
really
kids.
long
Nashville's
time.
amazing.
I've
I
actually
love it.
sang in
Nashville's
Memphis
amazing.
before. I sang with
We
a
gotta get you to
blues
Nashville.
band there. I sang a Beatles song and something else, but we took down the house with that one. I was like, somebody pushed me up there. I wasn't expecting it. And it was amazing. I got an offer, like a contract
Did you
offer
really?
to
That's
like
awesome.
I
do
believe
a
that
deal.
for
And I was like,
sure. She has a beautiful
I
voice.
can't.
Now I have to hear you sing.
I know.
We should do karaoke sometime while I'm
We
here.
shouldn't.
Yes, we
You
should.
should.
Tomorrow night.
Let's go.
Yes, we should. I'm a karaoke guy. I was a karaoke DJ in
Were
my
you really?
20s. Yeah.
Okay.
You have so many layers. You're like an onion. I
I'm
just wanna know them
literally,
all.
I'm ADHD, so I'm a jack of all trades and a master to none. Like I've done it all. I've done it all.
I love that about you.
Like
It's great to have that life experience, though.
It
it's
is.
fun.
It is.
It's fun trying new things.
Makes you edgy.
It makes you edgy. Makes you fun.
Edgy. Yeah, so I asked, what made you move from St. Louis?
Let me put this here. Better. So honestly, we had a death in the family. My brother.
Sorry.
Thank you. My grandma, the matriarch, passed back in June, and we just needed something new for chapter 2. Like we just wanted a fresh new start. So we come from St. Louis. It's a small town. Missouri is cool. It was good to me my whole life, but it was just like I don't want to raise my kids there. Like I want to go where they're gonna have opportunity. They're gonna learn, meet people, have culture. You know. Kind of get out of the bubble that I was raised in.
Yeah.
So we came to South Florida, which has been amazing. Like, best decision we've ever made.
Great place.
Great place. It really is a great place. A lot to do. They're learning a lot. They ask really good questions. I feel better. I feel like I don't know. I think everybody needs to make that major move once in their life.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, once in your life, you got to be like, I'm going to take this risk and I'm
I
going to
agree.
go in on myself. And it was the most, like, I don't know. It just makes you feel so renewed.
I totally agree.
It was fun. I'm waiting for you.
She's
I've already
coming.
made a lot of
I'm
major
watching
moves
you.
in my life.
You really have.
Yeah, we moved when I was still married. We moved 9 times in 10 years. Like,
Okay, didn't know that part.
yeah,
pretty
I was
wild.
like, that's why in St. Louis, I was like, I'm done moving for a while.
Why did you move to St. Louis?
Because it's closer to my family.
Okay.
And I wanted my daughter to grow up with her cousins and her grandparents and her uncles and her aunts. Like, I wanted her to have family because we were isolated. Like, it was just me and her, and then my ex-husband worked a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just moving around all the time, it was never long enough to, like, really build a good community of people. And it was lonely.
Was
And
he military or anything? Or
No,
was it
construction.
Just, okay.
Yeah.
So he just went with jobs.
Yeah. His company that he worked for built casinos, and they're always coming up. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Interesting. I never was.
But anyway,
Yeah,
So-
sorry.
So you were
Moving on.
you're a broker. Were you a broker, real estate broker in Missouri?
I was. I got
Okay.
my license 11 and a half, almost 12 years ago now. And I loved it for a long time. Now it's saturated. Everybody's doing it. It's
Right.
a little crazier. But again, you come to a thriving metropolis like Miami, and you have a lot more opportunity here. And I love what I do. I work with a lot of first responders. So I actually developed a niche in helping police officers back at home. My husband was a police officer for 11 years. We got tired of that life, and I got into real estate. I got successful very quickly helping them out, and then pulled him into it. And it was kind of my thing, so I grew from it. I loved it, and I developed it from there, like a place of passion. So it was easy to fall in love with it. Now it's a little different, but yeah, so
Now you hate it.
love it. I
So
love it.
you saw more success when you came to Florida as opposed to Missouri.
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 6 months we've been here, it's a different, it's like a whole different world.
Different beast.
Yeah.
It's a
bet.
different beast. And I
Yeah.
mean, you know, I'm licensed in Nashville, or well, in Tennessee. So I'm a broker in Tennessee, I'm a broker in Missouri, and I'm a broker here. It all kind of is parallel what you're doing, what the market's doing, what we do. But here, there's just a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, and there's cooler stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's things that we would never see back at home.
Yeah.
And
Right.
So much fun. I love to learn. I love to educate, and I think it's awesome to be able to be in a place that supports that.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. It's awesome to hand down.
Yeah.
Pass your knowledge
So
down.
I'm hoping my
So
kids.
what was like? Was it like a turning point in your life? They kind of.
Yeah, it was. A lot of it stemmed from, honestly, when I lost my grandma. She was like my person. She was like my person. We were inseparable. She went quick. She was a full-blooded Italian woman. She made the decision. She was ready to die, and she died a week later. Like, she was like just not, she was done.
Yeah.
So the grief collapsed me. And I noticed that when I was in that collapsed space, there was nobody there. I felt like I was screaming it, like I need help. I'm drowning. And my poor husband and my mom and my family, everybody was drowning. Everybody was hurting. And I didn't
Yeah.
want to put that on them. I was looking for people to come help me, and I couldn't find it. So it made the decision to actually leave way easier, because I'm like, you know what am I here for? I feel so unsupported.
Right.
I was drowning and losing her. So I needed that new environment. I needed that new space. I needed to come out of that. And I think what I learned from it all was that the best lesson that she left me with was, you're capable. You are enough. You can go to that big, scary place on the
Yeah.
Atlantic side, and you can be successful.
Yeah, you can start over and you can
start
still do
over.
it.
You can heal.
You've got what it takes.
You can
yeah.
do it.
It's amazing that she left that impression on you.
Thank you. I think that was a wonderful last gift. Like, and I look at that every day, and I'm like, I'm so
Well,
lucky.
and tell him what she said to you too about, well, you can stay in St. Louis or you can come here and be with me.
I don't think I can get through that sentence still. I don't know that I've said. She told me she died on a Monday.
Okay.
And I went in this Thursday, and I showed her my tattoo that I got of her handwriting. And she knew she was dying, but she wouldn't tell us that. So
Right.
she told me, she asked me about Nashville. She's like, you love Nashville. Why won't you go to Nashville? And I'm like, well, because you're here. I'm not leaving. You know, my kids need to be around their Gigi, and I'm not leaving. She's like, well, when I die, why don't you go to Tennessee? You love Tennessee. And I'm like, well, I know it's kind of a lateral move for me. I don't know. The
Right.
kids are bored. It's not a coastal city. You know, I
Right.
love it, but it's not coastal. And she goes, well, that's where I'm going. You know, your brother's down there. Your mom needs to go. Like, you can find me in Florida under the palm trees.
Right.
And so, or I was under the moonlight in the palm trees. And the way that she said it was so like, that's where she was going.
Right.
And so when she died, it was like, well, shit, now I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
So it was really neat to me that was my final gift from her, and it made it so much more of like an experience coming here. Like, packing the boxes became exciting.
Yeah.
You know, like getting in the U-Haul, like driving down here, I was like, oh my God, we're really doing this. And then when you get here and you're surrounded by people that are going up, 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 it makes you just want to do cool stuff.
Yeah, it inspires you. It helps you get back out of bed again.
It's weird.
You know?
You never
you have
know
something
that
to
you're
live
in
for
that
again.
place. Yeah, like I didn't know how bad I was until now.
Lights a fire under you.
It's weird.
It does.
You look back and you're like, shit, I was bad.
Well,
you know?
yeah.
I was really bad. And I'm a strong, confident
You are.
woman. I mean, I have a great business. I have a great family. Everything was going for me. There was no reason for me to feel that deep in that hole.
Well,
And
there was a reason for
there
it.
was. I think that I've experienced death.
And that's
know?
but that's like the message too.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah,
it
it
doesn't
was
matter who
different.
you are, it doesn't matter how confident you are, it doesn't matter how strong you think you are. Like grief is when it hits you, and there's nothing you can do but face it.
It's go right through it. Like
You have to.
It's crazy because and everybody who dies in your life that you love feels different.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. She was the person that just triggered me to
Mm-hmm.
like go. So here I am, and I love it, and it's amazing. This place is awesome.
She changed your life.
She changed
did.
my life. Like there was a long time there I was like, okay, I'm going to start a 501c3 for her. I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And then I thought, you know what? No, she don't want me to do any of that. She wants me to come here, open this brokerage and be happy. Like
Yeah.
go work where you're happy, right? Like if you're going to make a living, do it at something you enjoy and go where it's beautiful out. I can work all day and go sit on the beach and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. That's
Different
what
life.
They say, right? You'll never work a day if you love what you do.
Yeah.
It's true.
It
So
is
cliche, but it's
So
so, true.
It is
cliche, but it's so
cliche,
true.
but it is true.
It's true.
It's only cliche because people say it all the time. But,
Yeah.
you know,
It's another fun word.
it's
Yeah.
another fun word.
Yeah.
But that's great. So that's awesome. You're doing well. So you have your own brokerage down here, though.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm partnered with somebody. After opening one brokerage, I decided that was enough. I did not want to do the logistics side of things. I
Right.
wanted to hire and train and build my systems the way that I wanted them, but I did not want to do the accounting and the LLCing and the
Yeah.
legal, especially
Oh.
down here. I mean, Miami and Florida is a different beast. The
you still-
fraud is insane, and there's so many moving parts. I'm like, I just want to go to work.
Do you
Yeah.
still sell? Or
Oh,
do you
yeah.
just have, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
like crazy. It's getting busy. It's. I love to sell. I love to sell for the right people.
Right.
That's a dead thing right now, though. Like in this industry, everybody's doing it.
Well, good. When I need
Yeah.
a house,
Yes, you
I know the
are.
concept.
I know somebody.
God willing.
God
Please.
willing. Is it going to be here?
It would be here, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
At least we were able to have that discussion. So that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not looking to go
She's
back
the
to New
person.
York.
She's the person to find.
Oh,
I was wondering
God, that's
about
not
that. Do you miss
jinxing
New York?
I miss New York. I don't miss its politics, though.
No. No.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love New York.
It's a little too left for me over there.
It really is. And it's sad because
sorry.
it's such a cool place.
It is a cool place. I've never been, but I've
You-
heard it's amazing.
That's going on the agenda.
I know it is. Actually, it's on my
Take
bucket
her to-
Never been
list.
to New
We
York?
got to take
I've
her to
never
New
been.
York.
Oh, it's amazing.
But everyone that I
It
know
is.
that's been there's like, you have to go to New York.
It's
At
amazing.
least once in your life, you have to.
You do. When I say things like that, it puts kind of a bad spin on it. But to be perfectly honest, it's a great state, great
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
And I do miss it. I miss it every day. But at the end of the day, it
wasn't you.
Kind of took a turn. Yeah, it wasn't me. And don't get me wrong. I have nothing against, liberals per se. What I have something against is people that treat you like you're fucking ignorant and like you can't have a thought outside of
Yeah.
whatever
Bingo.
they think you need to conform to. Like,
Yep.
I can have multiple thoughts on both sides of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
aisle.
yeah.
I don't need to think one way. And
That's
in
so
New
true.
York, it's very much like this is how it is.
I hate polarity.
Yeah,
like I run
it's
down the
ridiculous.
center on so many things. Like I can't. That's
There's
why I don't
nothing
even
wrong
like to
with
dip
that.
into
No,
politics.
That's a good thing. That's how
Because-
it's supposed to be.
You would think.
Well, that's the thoughts of a rational human being,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's just like
Yeah.
every scenario is different for one. But like
Absolutely.
you can't like.
I can listen to you and hear your points and create an opinion and move on about my day.
Yeah.
I don't need, if I'm against something, for you
Yeah,
to be against
and
it.
I can be
I don't-
persuaded
Yeah.
if I'm not 100% certain about something.
Right.
Like I'm
Educate
willing to
me.
hear. Yeah, if you have a valid point that's like, you know what, I've never thought about that, and that's actually really worth thinking about. Like I'm open to it.
And nobody wants to go. Like, I think we're getting, like, the world, America especially, is getting so caught up in that, the
Yeah.
left, right thing.
It is.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I just don't want to go where I got to deal with that all
Yeah.
the time. Like, I just don't, like, Nashville's getting, like, kind of like that.
Is it
like,
really?
Yeah. Like, it was like, it never felt political to me to go there until recently. And then it was like, I don't know. It's just getting political.
We're getting
to
very
me.
divided.
We're getting so divided, and nobody wants to go sit in that space. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's nonetheless food, scenery,
Yeah.
like, things to do. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, that street's wild, though.
Isn't it crazy? Like when you, it's a whole thing. Like when you like
It's a world.
when you like pull down, when you like enter a certain place, you're like, wow.
I went there for my 40th birthday on Labor Day.
How did that go?
Oh my God.
Do you remember it?
Do I remember it? No, I remember it because I remember not being able to get in the bar for like 45 minutes at a time. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not fun.
The street was mobbed.
Was it really?
I mean,
so you don't even need to go in the bar?
The street's closed. And what really annoyed me is my friends loved, like my girlfriends love to walk. They love to walk. And there's this big fucking hill right on that road that takes you over to some bar. And I'm like, I walked up this thing and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I was drunk, miserable. My calves hurt by the time I even got halfway through it. I'm like, really? This is what we needed to do?
Welcome to 40.
We needed to walk. We needed to walk. We couldn't have just taken an Uber.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, did you see the crowd? I said, dude, I would have walked 5 blocks the other way to take an Uber.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Anything to avoid this monstrosity of a hill. You just made me walk up intoxicated.
Piss face drunk.
It's the
I was like,
worst.
you sobered me up. I want to go home to bed now.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, like,
that's so
I
funny.
sweat out every ounce of
I
alcohol.
believe it was insane there. Like
wild.
I've never been to a holiday in New York. I do want to do Christmas in New York. Is that
Christmas
too
is fun.
touristy? Like, is that like too?
It's
like,
so
I
pretty,
wanna
though.
Go. I
No,
want to
it's
see
not.
what
New Year's
Kevin
is very touristy,
Kevin
though.
McAllister saw. I need to know.
I know,
McAllister
right?
saw the
Yeah.
trees.
I need to see what
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister saw. I want
gotta
to go
stay
to
at
the
the plaza.
Yeah, I want to
You
do
gotta
it.
stay at the plaza.
See, we got to make that a thing. Yeah.
Should we go?
We should.
Take
Yeah, we
Ashley.
should.
We should at least once.
Oh,
You
yeah,
got
we
it. Oh,
gotta
you
do
have
it.
to experience.
One
it
of
at
my
least
good
once.
friends lives there. His name's Jory, and he's been telling me.
I'll tell
he
you.
actually.
I'll tell you where to stay.
Yeah, you'll know all the good spots too, which is super
True.
helpful. That's like 99% of the battle for me is like, I don't want to go and end up like, and then moving to a city like this and then having my friends call me now and they're like, where do I stay? Where do I stay? I'm like, oh, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's a
It is
big deal.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal.
I
And if you
wouldn't-
go, you can actually meet up with my friend Cece. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She'll love you guys. She's like my sister.
fun.
From New Girl?
She's like my sister. You'll love her.
I love her name.
I do too. That's
See?
cute.
Yeah,
It's
cute.
Christina, but yeah, Cece, we call her Cece.
I'm going to call her that too. I hope she
She'll
doesn't
love
care.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she'll love
adorable.
it.
CC. I like that name.
She's a good girl though. She'll definitely show you around.
Good.
For sure.
It'd be so fun to go
Yeah,
back. I haven't
she's
been in a while actually.
Yeah.
Like since things started to kind of go this way. Like I haven't
Yeah.
been back. I don't even know
Yeah.
the last time I was there, but
I go to my house in Westchester, and that's it. I have a
about
house
it.
there.
Yeah.
If I go to stay there, hang out with my friends for a couple of weeks. Not a couple of weeks, couple of days, and then I come back.
That's
one of my
nice,
newest
though.
That's it.
clients has a place in the Hamptons. She's like, let me know when you want to
Ooh.
go. I'll give you the keys.
I'll take it.
I've never been.
It's amazing.
Is
What?
it?
I want to
Look
get
at her
a
face.
I honestly want to get a house in Montauk.
If I would have known that, we'd already be booking it. Let me get the flights.
Well, the Hamptons is different than New York. I mean, it's New York.
No, I know, but I've always
Yeah.
wanted to go to the Hamptons.
And we need to have a whole nother conversation on this because I need to know what I need to know to go to the Hamptons.
The Hamptons. I'll tell you.
All I
Is it
need to know
East-
is that
it
it's
East
beautiful.
Hampton?
I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
this
tell
is
you.
new for me. Like I don't even know that there is an East and a West.
Yeah,
Hamptons.
East Hampton's like the spot to be, but that's like lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Yeah.
That's so funny because that's how like East and West Boca is. Like
Yeah.
I'm in Boca Raton, so like that's how it is there too. Like, although I'll say like Boca's developing, so
It
now
is.
I feel
It's
like
definitely developing.
now people are trying to go west.
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait, what do you mean the beaches? What are you doing?
Right.
The ocean.
Like the beach is this way.
The Florida people that have been here so long, they're like, we don't go to the beach. I'm like, what?
They don't. When I lived in
Mind
California, it was like
every
17
day.
minutes from the beach
Do
for
you go?
2.5 years.
Do I go?
I think I
I'm
went
not really a
twice.
big beach guy. So I'll be honest. You know when I'm a beach guy? I'm a beach guy when I'm dating someone that's a beach girl.
Really? Why?
Of
What
course.
changes? What shifts? Like, why?
What?
Just because you go for her?
I
or
go
like,
for her. Yeah.
Or do you
typically.
like feel more romantic?
Do I feel romantic?
I mean, that would be kind of romantic and fun, like sitting on the
Do
beach
you
with your
wanna watch
lover.
this?
Yeah, I feel
With
like,
a-
well, I'll tell you, I enjoy myself
strawberry
more,
daiquiri?
for sure.
For sure.
You notice I move around a lot,
strawberry daiquiri.
so I can't sit
Pina colada.
still
Yeah.
on a beach for 6 hours. I just can't do
Oh
it.
God, no!
Right.
Especially in Florida, you're like
No.
you bake.
So even
Yeah.
when I'm dating someone and we go, they sit there for 6 hours. I'm walking up and down the beach. I pace, going to the bar across the street, grabbing a drink, coming back. So, but yeah, I guess I enjoy it. You know,
A little bit of everything.
little bit
Yeah.
of
So
everything.
different from New York, right?
It is very different.
Got to be so different.
Different worlds.
So different. You ever been to a
worlds.
beach in New York?
Never.
Yeah, you'll never go after you go once.
It's that bad, huh?
Well, after being in Florida, it's tough.
It is.
You know, the
yeah.
water's dirty.
Everybody assumed because I was Midwestern, I'd go to the Gulf side because it's like what we do. That's what Midwesterners
always do for
They go to the Gulf side.
vacation.
I have to buy into all the MLS systems over there because all my clients are buying investment
I know,
properties on
and
the
it's
other
like,
side.
why though?
Well, because it's really, really beautiful, but everything closes at 9.
Yeah, yes, it does.
I'm like, listen, I'm 40. I'm not dead. Like, I'm not ready to like go like to bed.
You're not even 40 yet.
I'm not even 40 yet.
Yeah, I know, right?
When's your birthday?
August 19th.
Oh wow, my brother's the 21st.
Leos.
Leos.
Are you? You're a Leo.
Yeah, girl.
Oh,
You
God,
know,
here
are
we
you?
go.
That's why we get
already knew.
along
Look
so
at
well.
you guys. It's so awesome. You're very good together. You make
Oh,
a
thank you.
It's fun to chat and learn and talk through this stuff. It really is.
Yeah,
It's
it feels good.
There's a chemistry, you know. There's a good
Yeah.
chemistry.
Well, you know what? Like-minded people. Like
Yeah.
we have similar missions in life.
We
Like
do.
we want people to feel better, be better, do better. We want the world to be better. You
Yeah.
know?
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it? Everybody's tired of being so stressed. I feel like 2023 was the year of like.
Oh my God,
And now
2023.
2024, like I'm ready to be like done with that. I want to see happy people again.
Me too.
And I
Me
feel
too.
like it's getting better a little, but it could just be me because I'm in a better place.
You know,
Who knows? But I feel like
Usually
in
Yeah.
some ways it is.
people are waking up to the
They
fact
are.
that they're tired of like the shittiness.
But it's like
still happening.
nothing has happened in the physical yet.
Right.
But mentally and emotionally and spiritually, I do think people are gradually shifting.
Yeah.
They are. I think
You
people
know?
are like in a coma after COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
Yeah.
like
I
that-
mean, mental health after COVID was so bad.
Terrible.
Like so bad.
Before it was
But
bad, and then
you
it
know
got
what
worse. Like it
well,
was.
that's what
so
happens when
bad.
you don't have any
Yeah.
outlets.
Well, that's what I was going to
Nothing.
say. It goes to show you how important like community is.
Yeah.
Connection
Yeah.
is. Like
hanging out, talking like this.
Yes.
Everybody's like, oh, everybody has podcasts now. Blah blah. I'm like, we've all been dying to talk.
Yes.
for
Yes.
like years.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. We just
we
want
need-
someone,
we need
human.
human
We need
connection.
to have these conversations. We have
Yes.
like years without them. Like
Yes.
and they're important conversations and they're helpful.
It is. I'll tell you one thing though. My biggest problem with and that's fine. I get it. There's a lot of podcasts, but my biggest problem with some of them is that some of them are given platforms and I just don't believe that they should,
1000%,
based on their
yes,
rhetoric. Like, I
absolutely.
just don't.
Yeah.
There's just toxic messages that get sent
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Like
it's the last thing
wildfire.
we need.
It is.
No, it is the last thing we need, and
Yeah.
you really should have to conform to like certain standards when you're going to have a platform like that. Because honestly, it used to be like you have to knock down doors to get
Yeah.
picked up by an agency.
Yeah.
But now you can create your own, and
Yeah.
that's great. Don't get me wrong.
And
To
freedom
not-
of speech is great. You
It
know,
is.
we love
Freedom of
it.
speech
We
is
love
Sure,
it.
great,
but he's right,
But when
like-
you come on and you're pushing a toxic message constantly, and the next thing you know, you're followed by millions of people, and you just keep driving that toxic message right down people's throats.
I know, it's sick.
You should not be allowed to have a platform like
It's
that.
sad and
totally
it's sick.
agree.
You shouldn't.
And if we would cut it off and stop it, imagine how much better it would be. Like
Yeah.
everything. Like
For
God,
sure.
this
But you
stuff
can't-
makes a
you
difference.
can't.
Like I know,
And
I
that's
know.
why it's so important for people to use their voice.
It is.
Yeah. Even
if they
And
don't
thank
think
God you
anyone
guys
wants to
are.
hear it.
I've watched all your episodes so far. Like everything, it's amazing. The
lot of
messages you, it's a lot. I'm not going to say all like full through.
It's all right. No,
but
no,
I've
I know.
seen a lot of them. And especially hers when I was obviously
Yeah, of course. I expect it.
one of my favorite humans. But I'm like, this is good stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and people need to hear it, you know? Like,
you.
honestly. Like,
We just got to get on each other's team. We got to
Yeah.
get on each other's team again.
Absolutely.
Men and women do. Women and like we just all of us like as people
Yeah.
in general as humanity, we have to get back to a place of like the philosophy of love your neighbor more than you love yourself.
Yeah.
Or love your neighbor as you love yourself. Like treat people with respect and kindness
Yeah.
and dignity, and remember that we're all human. We're all human.
everybody's going through it.
Like you
Everybody
are
is.
not better than anyone
you
based
don't
on
know-
anything you do or say or think. You are not superior.
Yeah.
You're made of the same things. We all are, and we have to like collectively remember that and come together. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've lost touch with that for sure.
we have.
We need to bring it back. You guys
Respect
are doing
is not a hard thing to give somebody.
No,
And if you can't give it, just stay quiet.
I give respect to people
Where
that,
did that go, right?
a homeless person
to
in the
yourself.
street. Like I may not give them money every time, but I'm not going to treat them badly.
Right.
No, I'm not
They're
gonna
still a person, and you know what I mean. A person. Like I just. Yeah.
No, they are. I'll be honest. I have people that tell me, I don't know why you give homeless people money. They're just going to go do that. So what?
Yeah, it's not about what they
It's
do
not
with it.
about
It's
what they do
about
with it.
having the heart to
Right.
give.
And then I tell people, it's like, if everybody thought the way you think, you'd never help anyone because
Yeah.
you're always going to assume what they're doing with something. But
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, I was telling Ashley last time, their life, I mean, it can't get much worse, right?
Yeah,
So if you give them money
Imagine.
and they want to go do something with it that you may not agree with, who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah.
If they get a momentary peace in their life.
Yeah.
Why do you care?
It's
Yeah,
about
exactly.
creating joy.
Yeah, like let them
have a moment. I
let them
love
get
that.
what let
Yeah.
them get what little moment they can have to give themselves
Like-
peace.
Yeah. Yeah,
Remember,
exactly.
take it back to yourself and,
Yeah.
and remember what that feels like.
Yeah, what would it feel like if you were in that
What's that thing?
position?
Seriously.
Because again, we're all human. We're all capable
Yeah.
of ending up there.
Right.
Yeah.
We all are. There. I don't care where you are, how rich you are, where you're from.
yeah.
You are just as easily capable to end up homeless as you are rich. Like I mean,
Absolutely.
it's
Look at what
just
just
life.
happened to the world that we were just talking about. So
Yeah.
many people went from a place that they were to a new whole level, like
Yeah.
like in a maybe better, maybe less, maybe worse, maybe whatever, but it was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
grace.
And the
Like,
more you-
have
yeah.
to give people grace.
The more
like,
grace and compassion you give people, I genuinely believe the more it comes back
It
to you
does.
as well.
1,000%.
And the more
absolutely
it
does.
creates it, because
I
then
love
other
that.
people see it as an example. And like you know how that is. Like when you see someone doing something kind, you immediately feel good. Like I want to do that too.
It
Right.
inspires
You do.
people.
You
to go do it, yeah.
immediately. It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, it
you know.
inspires. That's why I like people talking about it. It's not the accolades. Like I like
Yes.
people talking about it. It motivates other people to do
Yes,
good things.
exactly.
Then you have a ripple effect, which is
Yeah.
amazing, and we need so much of that right
Yeah.
now because it's lacking for sure. Like
Totally agree.
it is. It is.
We do. No one speaks up against things anymore. That's the
No,
problem.
well, and everybody's afraid to.
Well, they are.
Like,
They stay mute because they're afraid of cancel culture.
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, somebody's got to do it
Yep.
at some point.
and the
Otherwise,
pattern is like cancel culture. It
Yeah.
starts, it happens, and then it wears off.
Yeah, it
Like,
wears
well,
off.
Anyway, like,
And if you're gonna get canceled for doing what's right,
okay.
oh well.
Sorry.
Like
So,
Every time.
yeah, unless you're doing it for insincere reasons, like you really shouldn't care.
Yeah.
Right? If you get
Right.
canceled, you're still a good human being at the end
Yeah.
of the day, and that's really all that should matter.
You're gonna
to
have
you.
your tribe. It's all
Right.
about who's your people.
Yep.
You know. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good stuff. You guys are
exactly.
doing great. Congrats, Ashley.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is awesome, guys.
welcome,
you.
welcome. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you
Yeah,
for
thank
having
you.
me.
Amazing
to have you. You were great.
guys, thank you. Like,
great.
I don't do this too often, but I do. I did. I really enjoyed talking to you guys.
So did
I was so
I
excited
did.
to have you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I immediately was like, my friend Ashley has to come on the show.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect.
Immediately.
Yeah, it's gotta be weird, right?
Now
I was like, just trust me on this.
You should come on again
Thank you.
sometime.
That's what I told
would
her
love
too.
to.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I would love
She's
to.
here, like
The energy was great.
Thank
It
you.
was.
I'm happy to come anytime and speak with you guys. I think you're wonderful. I really do, and it's fun.
It
really
is fun.
It's
It is, right?
And I
We have a
learn.
good time.
I get
yeah,
to
we
learn.
all do. We all do.
I learned so many new things. with you
You're like
guys
my
today.
Did you?
inspiration.
Yes, you guys.
Now you got a deeper look into the
I did.
mentality of a man.
Self-helped, and now I get to go home and lecture my husband.
Right, and you got it from
And tell him what you
and
learned.
from a rational man.
Yes, from
Yeah.
a rational man.
Yes. Congratulations.
So funny.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. As usual, we appreciate it. Remember, follow us on IG at notfornothing.podcast. You can follow us on YouTube at Not For Nothing Podcast, and you can also follow us on TikTok at Not For Nothing Podcast. Be sure to check Ashley out at Samani Realty. She's got an amazing business. If you're looking to buy a house, she's the one to go to. IG at Ashley Travers _ Definitely check her stuff out. Give her a call. She's the one you want to buy your house from. Guys, thank you. We appreciate it. Give us some more feedback. Have a good night. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.